Right there geezers, Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Games Show, and straight out of the gate I'm going to hit you with a I won't lie to you friends. Yay! I've been watching a ton of kick-ass anime recently. Dan is quickly becoming my favourite show, Delicious in Dungeon a close second. I finally got to the point where One Piece is starting to speed up, like 100 episodes in, and you best believe that I'm watching Space Dandy through once more on top of all of this. And to complement this high on weeb fumes, I've been getting nose deep right in the sweaty crack of anime video games to bring you today the best anime video games you've probably never heard of. Oh yeah, flex that obscure weeb card. So move over, Dragon Ball Fighters, kick stones, One Piece Pirate Warriors 4, and get out of here, Jump Force. Seriously, that game sucks because you're just too obvious a pick. And so let's talk about more obscure anime games that you need to know more about. As I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 8 amazing anime video games you've definitely not played. Number 8, Victorious Boxers 2 Fighting Spirit. So here's the thing, I know you shouldn't do it, but sometimes we as humans do judge books by their covers, and I mean this in a very literal sense because it's why I bought Garth Marenghi's The Earth, mainly because it's made with reinforced cat spine.
From Garth Marenghi, who brought you Slicer, Slasher, Ripper, and many more, comes Garth Marenghi's The Earth, with a reinforced spine made from genuine cat bone.
I've got to actively know where to put this thing, but my god, when a book offers you cat spine, you say yes. Long story short, the front cover of Victorious Boxers 2 Fighting Spirit looks like unwashed dog and screams that it's so far down the bargain bin that even Little Britain the video game is going to get a look in before this one. But if you've ever seen this and then continued on your video game rummage, you've missed out on not just a brilliant boxing game, but also one tied to an even better boxing anime. Hajime no Ippo tells the story of a downtrodden and bullied youngster who is taken in by a middleweight boxer and trained in the art of punching stuff like really, really hard sometimes. And then sometimes he like punches stuff like really, really hard, and the crowd just goes like, brother, whoa, did you just see that? You just hit that guy like really, really hard. And then sometimes he punches really, really, really hard, but only in like the season finale, of which there were 3 of them, and it ran for 127 episodes. Yet the real knockout of this series was just how good Victorious Boxers 2 was, as this, and I do not say this lightly, ranks as high for me as Fight Night Round 3. It is that good. Now, I know what you're thinking. The game's visuals look about as appealing as slicing up your own testicles and then passing them off as a kiwi fruit salad, and yeah, I'll admit, woof. But this game does look like reheated ass, but when it comes to the way that it plays, wow, hoo, boy, 10 out of 10, oh my god, wow. And this is thanks to how the game allows you to make use of positioning and footwork, something that I, as a YouTube personality who you never see the legs of, have no understanding of. But you can push opponents into the ropes and then leather them with close shots, or step in closer to them to pressure outside boxers who excel at range. Learning your opponent's strengths and then actively moving around them elevates this experience from, well, all of the other slogfest that were dropping around the same time in this genre. So the next time that you see this ugly duckling in the wild, give it a chance, as it might grow into a beautiful swan of a video game experience. And then also deliver you a massive haymaker, because this is a swan, and it's always off, and now we've taught it how to box. What have we done? Number 7, UN Squadron. Oh, what's this, my friends? Why, it's our good pal, the Evil Finger Temple of Doom, and it's here to signify that I've been a bit of a stinker with this next entry, as you might be looking at the title of UN Squadron and have zero memory of there being an animated show of the same name. And that's because, thanks to it being renamed in its port job from the Japanese arcades to American and European soils, it changed from Area 88 to UN Squadron. Now, the original Area 88 anime was 4 different hour-long OVAs that were commissioned and then later just split and chopped and re-edited across different formats over the years. But it told the story of Shin, a mercenary fighter pilot forced into combat in order to earn enough money, or V-Bucks as kids know them today, to buy his freedom. It was very typical of late 80s anime in that it was often bleak as f*** and held an animation style that swung wildly from gloriously vibrant to being, well, very poorly animated slideshow. We call this the Uzumaki effect here in 2024. I'm as sad about it as you are. I love Junji Ito, but that stunk. And of course, none of this plot carried over to the game itself, which was a relentless and absolutely must-play of a shooter experience, with you piloting different aircraft across some truly impressive-looking stages to an all-time banger of a soundtrack. Sure, it was classic Nintendo hard, and sure it looks like Elrond from Lord of the Rings is giving you your orders, albeit after his run-in with a cattle brand, and sure your eyes might leap from their skulls at all the flashing lights, but this game is pure and unapologetic chaos in the best ways possible. Number 6, Hunter x Hunter, Kindan no Hihou. Yeah, sorry guys, I'll be right with you. I'm just on the phone with Konami. Okay, yeah, I got it, mate. Pachinko machines and whatnot. Yeah, but let me tell you something. Let me ask you something, mate. Why is it that you've got a ridiculously well-received anime, a backlog of brilliant games, and we're here in the year of our Lord 2024 without a new Castlevania game, eh? Hey, answer me that. What's your excuse? Oh, don't cry, man. Sorry, mate. I'm just busting your chops. I know you've put out a remaster of Haunted Castle this year, but I just wanted more Castlevania games. Is that so much to ask for? We want you to succeed. We want you to do well. Like, yeah. All right, yeah. Love you too. Bye. Ooh, right, well, it looks like we're going to have to find our own Castlevania experiences, but luckily I know just the place to look. Mark, bring forward the egg-shaped time machine because we're going to go back to the year of 2001 and to the Game Boy Color. Obviously. That's right, this game right here, Hunter x Hunter Kindan no Hihou, is the Castlevania experience you didn't know you needed in your life, as not only is this a brilliant love letter to that series, but the same developers actually made this as well. It's even got that same Simon Belmont slide, shuffle, walk, and a whip for good measure. I mean, what more do you want? With iconic enemies to fight, that wonderfully so good but kinda grating Game Boy soundtrack, and all of these colours, this is a wonderful retro romp that fans of this also stellar series should really check out. Although, if you are looking to add this to your collection, take note this was only released in Japan, and while imports are definitely still possible, there is little in the way of fan translation to understand what the hell is going on unless you speak Japanese. Number 5. Tetsujin 28 Go. Oh, look at all the little kids having fun at the play park, eh? Oh, there's little James going down the slide. What a legend over there. There's that weird baby version of my editor Mark on the swings. Woof. Oh yeah, so which one's yours? Oh, mine is the giant robot over there. You know, the 20-foot tall giant death robot with laser eyes and who screams crush, kill, destroy every 10 seconds. Yes, Daddy sees you.
Crush, kill, destroy.
Dude, your kid just smushed my kid. Yeah, sorry about that, he does that. Now this very weird skit was brought to you by my undying love of new Tetsujin 28 Go. I have fused together all of the parts of the manga here, and trust me, it is a very, very beloved one, getting not just an incredible run in the book form, but also TV shows, animated shows, and well, lots of other weird cancelled projects. I think there was like a live action thing. You might actually remember him, American audience members, as it being The New Adventures of Gigantor. But this game right here is so good, I need more people to know about it. Well, maybe good is a strong word here. Utterly goofy would actually better describe this game, seeing as you play as a small child piloting a giant mech using a remote control and doing so to stop crimes, save the world countless times, and cause so much collateral damage that people really should begin asking why an actual child has this much power. What this translates to is a wonderfully silly fusion of running around to get into range of Tetsujin, issuing commands, managing their power levels, and then watching in awe as the enemies and your robot ragdoll like they're straight out of the PS2 video game The Bouncer. Oh yeah. It's glorious, it's over the top, and it is indeed a deep cut gem that you need to play. Number 4, Battle for Arachna. So you might remember back in the heady days of 2006, you know, when the world wasn't so much on fire as the edges of it were just being lit by a box of matches, that there was an animated TV show that hit the UK airways with a theme song so good it outshone how utterly garbage the following content was. That's right, my friends, it's time to talk about Spider Riders. Spider Riders! I don't care, play the theme song, Mark. Just play it all. Play as much as we can. I do not care about the copyright. Spider Riders, yeah! Oh, goddamn, the show was Because yeah, even though the show was absolute bin juice for the most part, it turns out that the Spider Riders had a banger of a video game in the form of Battle for Arachna. And I do mean had, because unfortunately with it being a browser video game, it's no longer playable outside of fan hacks. But in the name of our 8-legged spider god, this game kicked ass. Fusing dice and cards together to form a strategic battle system, you could level up your character, join factions for bespoke rewards, and then kit out your spider/rider out in the best clobber that Flash animation could handle at the time. Sure, it was simple, sure it was a bit ropey around the edges, but the mechanics on offer here were so engaging you could waste away hours of your life building the perfect kid and arachnid combo. Plus the deck building element to a kid like me who's obsessed with MTG and other card games. I wasn't even fussed about the rest of it. This was amazing. It's just a brilliant game. It's a brilliant deck building game. Unfortunately though, as kids soon realised from watching the TV show and experiencing the awkward, unrelenting, numerous, prolonged pauses present throughout, that Spider Riders wasn't exactly it as a franchise, and it died a death, taking Battle for Arachna, aka the best part of it, along with it. Oh, who am I kidding? Obviously the best part is the theme song. Play it again, Mark! Spider... Hey, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Whoa, Jules, you can't have a list about anime video games without Future's biggest weeb dropping in. Or at least the most readily available weeb that Future legally owns. Can I say legally owns? Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. When it comes to video games based on iconic anime franchises, there are plenty of great and well-known titles to pick from, but there's one that surprisingly few people seem to have tried. At least based on my own conversations, and that's Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. A PS4 exclusive made by Ryuga Kotoku Studio, the developer behind the Like a Dragon or Yakuza series, the action-adventure title puts you in the shoes of Kenshiro, a martial artist who can make people explode just by touching them. He's also the guy from this iconic clip that I quote far too often. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, there's Mad Max-style vehicles, plenty of mini-games, an epic story, and countless enemies to pop like blood-filled balloons. And with that horrifying image fresh in your mind, I'll hand you back to the Egg Daddy.
Okay, cool, right, so we're doing that YouTube 2016 thing where we can just have people interrupt in, and it looks like it's being hijacked the signal even though it's a pre-recorded video. Good to see we're at that stage. Moving on. Number 2, Mobile Suit Gundam's Bonds of Battlefield. Now, I truly feel sorry for hardcore Gundam fans, as while it is amazing to see more awareness of this mega hit franchise here in the West, especially with Gunpla builds taking the scene by storm, they surely have missed out on a ton of Japanese exclusive video games across the years. But you know what, my friend? Wipe that tear from your face, you smelly little oik, because I have got some good news for you. The game that we're talking about right now, Bonds of Battlefield, is technically, and that's the best type of victory here, playable outside of its only released region. Huzzah! Thank you, PSP, for not being region locked, weirdly. And trust an egg here, pals, this is a really fun game which pitted you and other players against each other in head-to-head matches, complete with all the stuff that makes Gundam what it is. And for the record, these are giant mechs, explosions, and melodrama! Yet thanks to its limited release, very few players and even hardcore fans have actually given this game a go, which is a true shame, as some game mechanics like the penalising of winning teams with handicaps to lessen the skill gaps between players, and then theming that to their mechs enduring endless battle because it's like they've won the battle, they've moved on to a fresh set of opponents and they're grinding down, is a lovely touch. But you know what? The real reason that I want to talk about this game is because it also allows me to talk about the arcade version of this game, which this PSP game was a port of. And you know why I want to talk about this? Because it had the controller to end all controllers. Move over, Mech Warrior. We have a full cockpit on show here that immersed players inside their own personal mech. I believe the expression is, hell yeah. And number 1, Blue Submarine number 6. And so we close out the show with not just an obscure video game for the ages, but one that is set on the beloved Dreamcast, which never gets enough attention in my eyes. I mean, seriously, every time you talk about a game from this library, it always includes the phrases like revolutionary for the time or so ahead of its time. And that's because the concepts that devs were throwing around on this machine were usually utterly bonkers. Case in point, let's talk about Blue Submarine No. 6, a post-apocalyptic underwater exploration title with open-world elements and a supremely vibrant soundtrack. Based on the anime of the same name, you play as a freelance submariner who makes a living by salvaging scrap left at the bottom of the ocean. And this, in terms of gameplay, has you exploring the ruins of old firing floats, which are like torpedoes that lift heavy objects to the surface, and avoiding detection from other pirates and savage wildlife. It is both chill and tense, a beautiful expression of discomfort while also possibly becoming your new favourite cozy game. Kind of think Dredge, but with the ability to sink beneath the depths and move about in all directions. Here you have to manage your resources carefully with an extremely limited budget, and the slow climb of salvaging scrap to harvesting huge underwater bounties is extremely satisfying, as is the balance of using your sonar, which pinpoints where areas of interest are on the map, but also attracts aggressive wildlife towards you. And to top it all off, if your ship gets damaged, you lose function of motors and gear, making firefights something that you want to plan out way in advance or avoid altogether. Honestly, this game is so good, and I say this as a person with a huge dislike of the deep ocean. I mean, like, Mark, what is this? What are you bringing to me here? Horror of the deep? Ooh, gross, get it out. I don't like it. But I will have me some of this. Bring on an image of Blue Submarine No. 6. Ah, ooh, little smooch. And there we go, my friends. Those were 8 amazing anime video games that you definitely haven't played. I just want to say a massive thank you to the little hijacker that was James Daly over there for coming onto the show and helping with that little cameo. Big love to him, and go support him over on these social medias over here. And if you want to follow me, then don't do any other one. I just want people to follow me on Blue Sky over here. Come and join the party, my friends. It is a lot of fun. Hope to see you over there. You can follow my lovely editor Mark on his social medias over here as well. But before I go, I just want to say one thing. Hope you're treating yourself well. Hope you're treating yourself with that love and respect that I know you deserve, because you are a good person, and you should never, ever forget that you are a massive ledge and you deserve the bloody best, all right? Now go out there and smash your life goals today. I believe in you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.